I'm Jamila. I'm the Senior Customer Success Manager at Open Social. Already since quite a while. I know most of your faces by now, so excited to see you all here. But even more excited to what we're presenting today. It is actually something we have been looking forward to be working on, a little also goal and dream that we wanted to establish, and we are finally in the process of doing so. It is the Open Social Community Handbook, the action plan for building successful communities. So this is something that is a passion project, and we are very excited to also announce it today. But what is it exactly? So it will be a comprehensive guide that is specifically a guide to establish, grow, and nurture online communities, specifically utilizing the Open Social platform. Well, the Open Social Community System, as we now call it. So it will be including not just though like strategic or methodologies, but really step-by-step guidance, action plans, templates that are downloadable and immediately actionable. So what will entail will be a lot of different facets and actions that will help you build a very vibrant community using the Open Social Community software. So not having just strategies, but really supporting you. So, but why did we create this? So this is something we were very wanting to build because we see a lot of value in it, that a lot of you who I've been talking to, there's a long onboarding process, right? For you to learn the product and so forth. But there's also a long journey ahead, right? Open Social, there is first the establishment, there is the onboarding, but it goes into exploring it, advancing it further and further. So this will be several steps that will guide you. However, it is not just that you need to start with onboarding, but you can really join it at whatever chapter you are currently in to support you. But it's really actionable steps that will get you there. Also, our customer success manager will do part of it during onboarding, but we really want to utilize this book, and why we created it is to support you further, right? We talk a lot, of course, to you during onboarding, but this is really something you can read and work on, not just though for the community managers, but also for the stakeholders, because it will have several aspects. So if you're working with your stakeholders and you need to make actions with them, this will also help you guide them further. So who is it for? Well, it's for you. Open Social clients, whether you are a stakeholder as well as a community manager or a project manager, however you would like to call yourself in different ways, or using the Open Social platform or wanting to use it as well, it is for you. We're really wanting to provide something that will help you build a successful community and engaging community utilizing Open Social Community System, right? Now also the community experience platform later on, but this book is really focused on our community management system, right? Helping you, really making sure that you have templates and action plans to help you. Specifically, we have a lot of clients who we also work with who don't have a huge system behind them, supporting them, or many people. It might be a 2-people show, 3 people, 5 people, right? And this will really support them further. But first, we would also like to give a little thank you as well, where our inspiration as well as part of our strategic methodology further comes from. So already last year, this was presented, which is the European Commission Community of Practice Playbook. Frederick Williquit is also here with us today, who is also one of the co-authors, and presented it last year as well, which includes it really focuses the community playbook on as well as building strategy and how to establish and grow a community of practice platform, right? It already provided a foundation for that aspect. So we got really inspired from it, and we do want to provide some gratitude because we did take some strategic methodologies from the book, but are adding towards it how to utilize it specifically for Open Social, right? So they've built, it was a very well researched by the European Commission Research Center, if I'm not mistaken, working together. It's a very well-researched book that I think is also downloadable if you want to look at it as well. We utilize some of that strategy and expanded on it further, specifically adding more FASA, but also adding more action plans and relating it to Open Social further as well. So we definitely want to express our gratitude for the authors of this definitely groundbreaking work that have definitely enriched our own as well in the creation of it. Yes, but what does it exactly include? So it kind of includes 9 facets, action plan, and chapters. Each of them includes 5 different things in each chapter, which I will go also in as well. But first of all, it's an introduction. It's first explaining, right, what is this chapter? What does it entail? What is kind of the facet, the action plan that's taking place? Then there's a methodology section. So what methodology, what strategy is being implemented here? What does it entail? What does it mean? Then some strategy and guidance. So how do you take this methodology that you've created into actual, like a strategy, right? And also providing some guidance towards it. And then best practices. So we have a lot of knowledge, right? Within Open Social, within our communication with all our different clients. And this is really where we're presenting them, right? What are the best practices during this step that will help you and guide you towards creating this community that you want, whatever success that might be to you. Then we have templates. So this is really where I think that will be extremely helpful, is that each chapter will have templates that are easily downloadable and immediately actionable, right? So you can immediately download it. It will have space to create it, to edit it, and to adapt it accordingly. It will also, of course, include an introduction, some methodologies behind it of why we're creating it, who we're creating it, including the success wheel of the European Commission Community Playbook, but as well as other methodologies as well. Kirsten mentioned a few, right? There's definitely a lot of knowledge and methodologies out there. But then also what we'll include at the end is the Open Social Glossary. I think all of us can say it's something to get used to, right? All the different namings, the words, how we say things. I think always in calls, they try to explain to me something, but before they say it, they're like, but not in Open Social terms, right? Because I think those can be quite confusing. So here in this glossary, this will help a little bit. It will be accessible, but you can always know what we mean. What is a site manager? What is a verified user? What is an authenticated user? But what is a book, right? All of these terms, what do they exactly mean? And they're easily, searchable, findable, maybe something you can also use later for your own users. And then all the downloadable templates, because sure, you might have it in each chapter, but we do want a section at the end where you can also just download them or the specific template you want, or have it actionable rather, going through each chapter to find what you want. Yeah, so here's a bit what's inside. It's very large and give you a little bit of an idea, though, what these steps are. First, we have our vision and mission, right? This is really where you establish what your vision is, what your mission is, what goals and milestones you set. Then we have governance and leadership, so stakeholder mapping, identifying your users, and best practices towards that, as well as templates. So convening, so external framework, internal frameworks, measurement, so KPIs, how to set them up. We already discussed also quite a bit that KPIs vary, right? Not all of them are quantitative, some are qualitative. But this is really to help you that depends on your use case what KPI should be set up, but also how important it is to set up some measurement, right? Then you also have collaboration and communication. So that's a content strategy framework. I think a lot of people struggle with a content strategy plan. So here we're helping you how to build one, right? And how to set one up. Then community management. Here, this is really where I think as of measurement, the first aspect is probably when you start a community, right? This is your beginning, your establishment. And as of collaboration communication, I think this is something you'll always use and something that will always support you as well further. So when it comes to community management, we have our roles, we have how to build a engagement roadmap, which also differs all the roles and capabilities within Open Social, but also everything regarding a community manager. So we also link all our manuals, our access points, so anything a community manager needs, and also how important it is to have one. Then user experience. So every user experience by role, user flow mapping. I think I discussed this with a lot of you, like please focus on user flow. What should a user be actually doing, following them? So here we really share our best practices. I think you've heard them from us, for sure from me and Jake, but here it's really on paper and conceptualized. Then there's user onboarding and engagement. So the best practices as well towards that and how to implement an engagement best practices. And then we come to evolution, right? So the evolvement of the platform. So how important it is for user feedback. And there is smart user feedback. There's people that do very general, how it should be specific. But also the returning users, how to expand your user base if you want to, or expand in what field you want to expand in. And then the glossary, as I mentioned, it will be the language. There will be some explanation as well on kind of our UX design. What are we using? How do we implement this, right? To give you a better idea. Links to our user guides. They're still going to be on community talks. And then the downloadable templates, as I mentioned before. Well, when and where will this be available, I think is your next question. Well, this will be on community talks, right? Whoever does not have access should get access who's here. It is our community platform for all our clients that are within Open Social. It's where you can find all our manuals and templates. So it will be a downloadable guide and handbook, but it will also have some hard copies as well. And this is already something we are slowly going to start practicing. It will be fully out and ready, I say, by 2025, but we're hoping by the end of the year already that it's going to be downloadable. But in the meantime already, like Jake and I will definitely, if there's a section you really are interested, you want to get further guidance it's already in draft mode. So a lot of it is already created. It's not that it's a whole new concept we're just working on, but we need to definitely redefine it. So if you also have questions or need further input or want to already start some of these aspects, please contact either your customer success manager, whether it's me or Jake currently, and we will help you further. Thank you. Any questions? Yes?
The online version, are you going to build it, or maybe it's a suggestion, I don't know if, right, also as an interactive piece in which maybe if each of us dedicates some of our time to share good practices, we can add to that. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking, there is a chapter on whatever.
Yeah.
And then someone either way, add a topic to it or a short video in which is explained. Mm-hmm. And yeah,
that's a great idea. Something we will definitely consider. We might reach out to get more insight. I think we've also gathered a lot of insight in the meantime and utilized them. We've spoken to many of you, so it's not knowledge we get and we leave behind. And there's definitely aspects of this in the book, but definitely something to consider to expand on. Thanks.
You mentioned that some of it is available in draft and can maybe be shared. Actually, the template section would be extremely useful because staff is always limited, and I would personally use templates a lot when testing things. Mm. So in the test environment, this would be very useful because then I just download it and fill it in and use it as it should be. And that can also then be shared with other colleagues. So if we can ask for something to be there more early than something else, then I would go for templates. Maybe we can quickly vote. I'm sure that other people in the room would love downloadable templates as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's one of the main focus points. The templates are the things that need to be pretty rather than just writing. So those are the ones that will take a little bit longer. Probably why? Because we do want templates that are also immediately usable and friendly and actionable. But we're definitely something we will first work on. Okay, good to know. I will definitely talk about that with you then in one of our calls. Gladly. Any other questions? No? Amazing. Great. Well, thank you so much for your attention. That was the end of our lightning talks. And we will now do a coffee break. Thank you.